Good afternoon. Welcome to Options Tender. It is Thursday, September 5th, 2024. Welcome, everybody. We're going to go through SPY on multiple time frames. Check out QQQ. We're going to go around the horn on the 65 with IWM, SMH, and the VIX. So we're going to do a little maintenance on yesterday's video. Clearly, price is a little bit negative today. The breadth is negative. And we just hit the target on SPY that I was looking for in yesterday's video, the measured move. So I want to show you how I'm playing this, what my strategy is, just to be clear on how I trade. I'm a swing trader. And so you have to trade the way that you like to. And these videos are, out there to put possible scenarios out there that I think are likely to happen, and we're right in the middle of a bull bear scenario. So it's really difficult right before catalyst tomorrow to depict where that price action is going to happen. So I'm ready for both of them. Either direction, I'll make money if the move is big. Okay, so we're doing this intraday at 1 o'clock, about 1:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're interested in getting these videos intraday, then consider becoming a supporter. It's 99 cents. And I also just did a video on Tesla for those individual supporters on YouTube. So here we go. We have SPY on the monthly time frame. We have 2000 top, 2021 top, and we're forming a top here in 2024. Is this a hangman? And then we start to move lower. That's possible. This could be a reversal setup as a tweezer top. We're moving off of the trend line here from 2000. It's all that's possible. We could just go straight down from here. I don't think it's going to be that easy. I think that we're forming a top and it takes time. Very similar to, this is a much smaller top than what we're forming right now. And this took 3 months to play out. Let's move down to the weekly. On the weekly time frame, we're just getting under this 8 EMA on the weekly. That is bearish. We could see, we're starting to see a little bit more tea leaves that maybe tomorrow we could see 540. All right, that's possible, and maybe wick underneath it. All right, so if we hold and wick above this 8 EMA, then we certainly could go for the highs sooner than later. If we break down tomorrow, then it should be pretty violent, and we should have a follow through into Monday. So Friday's price action should be very, very big. If it's up, then we should have follow through Monday upside, and if it's down, we should have follow through, and then we'll be looking for a reversal and lower prices. We did get this reversal on the weekly. We're following through so far and just peeking underneath support. Now, on the upside, super limited. We're just so limited on the upside on the higher time frames. So no matter what, we're in the long term, we are way more biased on the downside. In my IRA, I could take 5%, 10% move to the upside, and I'd still hold on to the SQQQ and SPXS inverse ETFs. We reached our second and final target here at 162. We tagged it again and reversed right off of it. It's a big zone, you guys. So do I think this is it? Possibly. That would mean we got a lower high here. We didn't reach a new high. So not that we have to, but I think that would be unfinished business. And we've talked about in the past the 2021 playbook, and we're wrapping around this 8 EMA, and then tagged a new high, and then broke down from the new high after that. But the Qs did not. The Qs had the high here, and then a lower high, and went on. So I think that's still in play. I know there's a gentleman on here, Ryan Fitness. He keeps repeating 2007. And I really think that's the same price action. So, if you're listening to this, then fantastic. You've held on to your position, and I envy that. And good luck. Yeah, of course. I still think it's the same thing. And with that said, we have our 50 moving average. In 2007 and in 2021, we look at price action wrapping around this 50-day moving average. You know why? Because this is technically a range. We haven't broken to the upside. We haven't broken to the downside. We're in a range or an equilibrium. We're within that range, and anything can happen within the range. We are not trending. We're going sideways. Nevertheless, huge moves. But until we start breaking to the upside or downside, we are not in a trend, and it is not easy. Okay, so once we get our top in, we'll have a trend to the downside, and it will be much easier to trade. So or swing in my position. So I'm constantly hedging. When you're in a range, it's more difficult, and so I do play futures as well, and so that's a little bit easier for me. Okay, so here's the important thing that I talked about. I made a post earlier. This is a consolidation area. That was a very important consolidation, and this lasted 10 days. 10 days of trading. We broke down from there and barely had a move so far. Backtesting again today with the 8 EMA dropping. So really, it's okay. It's okay to be bullish or bearish in every scenario. You just need to know where you're wrong. And so right now we're kind of holding that 50-day moving average, and that's, going into a huge catalyst. I think that's likely to be the situation. Maybe we get another doji here, but we're rejecting so far off this 8 EMA. Price action has to get above the 555. You got to get back into this range, or else this could be a heavy rejection. I learned my lesson off of this move here. We had this consolidation. We backtested not only the trend line, but the breakdown area. This was the consolidation up here, and it's the same zone. And after breaking down from that zone, there was a violent move. Do I think the move's going to be that violent? No, I really don't. But I think it's very likely that if we can't get back above 555, then our play is I still have the same puts for this. I just added on calls for swings, later dated out to the end of September for some individual plays. So I'm hedging with that, and I'm hedging with strong Tesla going into, that's what I was doing the video about, a stronger Tesla. I'm hedging with that and with the lotto tomorrow as well. So looking for a little bit of downside if price can't get back above 555. Okay, so on this here, this would be if we start breaking down, especially new lows tomorrow for negative tomorrow, then I could see us going to 530. All right, I'm already hedged right now, and I'll show you on the 65. If we hold the position right now and we're bullish tomorrow, then we're looking for this purple dashed line up to the 127. So here's how the count will go. Right now we're counting it as 1, 2, 3. If it's a shallow move right where we are now, there's a 4 and a 5. If we get a deeper retracement, then we're going to move this up to a 1. We're going to upgrade this to a 1, and this would be a 2. 3, 4, 5, like the 2021 top. Let's move down to 65. All right, so we had our measured move here in the red. That was the width of this rectangle, the consolidation area. And then we took that and placed it on the breakdown zone, which is 555. That's our breakdown area. And we got that move. We got the measured move. Okay, so measured moves are not necessarily. See, we had a head and shoulder here, and we had the measured move, I believe, was from this move here. I'm not going to redraw it, but I think it was somewhere like down here, and then we, surpassed it with a gap down after that. So the measured move is approximate. We got it. We have good, there's a breakout zone here. We have good support resistance, and we tagged it right now. So yes, I put on some SPY calls as well. So we're pretty much in a neutral stance at this point. So I have early dated calls, like going into Friday and Monday for Tesla, for SPY. And then on the downside, I have the SPY and QQQ out of the money puts out into about mid-September. And on the long side, for great setups like Lulu, for example, I have out to the end of September for calls. And I'll adjust those. I adjust every single day. So if we start breaking down to these zones, then I'll reintroduce calls, swings, and I'll be mostly calls at this point. Likewise, if we go up, have a break up, then I'll take off, I'll take profit as we go, but I know that will be biased. Like this way, we'll take off the puts towards here and be mostly calls. Up here will be calls majority until we get to our target, clearly, and then we'll be majority puts. Okay, so into our zones here. And this one would be much later dated, going to the upside. I think that will take longer, and this is our time frame here for if the market's bullish. If the market's bearish and continues lower, then this is our time frame here. We're already in that time frame out to the 12th. Here's a cluster here that would be looking for into target zones into the 580 area. If we are negative going into tomorrow, can't get above 555, and I will not take off my puts until we get above 555 and hold above. Okay, I'll take a loss on puts while my calls start working, just to be sure. And likewise, the other way around, I'll take off those calls and readjust them as price goes lower. In this one, we have up to about September 12th is a cluster there. So going into next week, if things are bearish. So tomorrow should set the tone, you guys. Going ahead, that's what we'll be looking for. So the Qs. Qs, much more shallow downtrend line. Yes, this could play all the way through. Don't know if that will happen, but we're playing into 445 for our puts. We had the potential flag here, broke down from the flag, back testing, still can't get above it. So how can we become super bullish on there? You can't. Got to get above that flag and continue for a fake break, and the flag should go higher. This is a likely target down here. And what we talked about yesterday, the structure here, possibly a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this 5 would probably be extended down to here. And we still haven't broken the lows from yesterday. So this is still, looks to me, incomplete. So until we do that, maybe we clip it today. And, you can add on some Qs, calls for protection short term. But this is it's not looking good here. Consolidation and continuation. So, tomorrow anything could happen. We're neutral. And this would be our minimum place to the downside whether you're bullish or bearish, I think this is minimum because I don't think this structure's done yet. So this would be our minimum stop here at 455, and that's where we would add a little bit more protection to the upside. But I think it's more likely that we make it down to 447, and even if things are bad and going into next week, 436. All right, with an extension of this wave 5. The momentum meaning gaining here. And so something I posted earlier as well is, let's go to the daily. And before I go, I just want to show you. So we're looking for an A, B, whether that B be lower, BB lower, and then a C higher, because I think we're going to close a gap before ending this top pattern, but I don't think we make new highs in the Qs. So I didn't show this in the post earlier, but let me check this one. Yes, so same thing with the Qs and SPY. We had a bearish crossover, and I missed that yesterday. And so to me, we're not even oversold yet. We have some room to the downside. And not only that, to the downside, we could form a bullish divergence if need be. So there's plenty of room on the indicators, momentum, and the strength for downside. So that worries me to be way too bullish. I did that right here. We had put protection, but I got bullish right at the support, and I thought that bad boy was going to take us to new highs. And it gapped down twice. Big. All right, that hurts. Luckily, we had put protection, and then took off put protection on this one. And so had to, double down on calls. I can't predict where the market's going. We can have clues. We're underneath the 8 EMA on the daily time frame. We're underneath the 20. Get underneath the 100, and we're at support. Break the support. The next real support is that 446, 447 that I was talking about. That would be our minimum that we're playing. But why not tag to 200 at that point? So that's our time frame. This could get violent and follow through, and we have a trend line also with the 200 moving average down here at the 440. So, you have to make your own decisions, but everything's bearish on this chart here. And same thing with SPY. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse on that. And IWM, if it needs to be more bearish, you have this downtrend line here that if you close the gap, then that would be a good spot to hedge to the upside. Because ultimately, I think IWM doesn't take out this low, holds the 200, and goes for one more high up here to the 887, which would be a nice flat pattern that would work out perfect for our high, all-time high, which I think might be a little bit before. I'm not sure that's the all-time high. Either way, the A for this initial move, expanded B, and we're into an ending diagonal where the waves overlap. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're working on 5. All right, that would bring us right into the time frame, late September, early October, where we think we have our last hurrah. VIX. VIX is showing strength right now. So again, look at that support area. Held on to support, and we're getting a doji off of it. It's just it's very difficult to think that this is done yet. We might go up to here, just like this last move when I thought this was done. It continued and then just ramped. So this one could clearly get a lower high as we get new all-time highs where it pulls back. But I think this might break this high here. I think we might go higher, possibly to the 28 area. Now let's look at the 65. And there's no telling where VIX is going to go specifically. It's a beast. It's its own beast. We had this inverse head and shoulder. This played out, and we have a flag pattern. Okay, so right now we're in a bullish state. Nice flag pattern, and I think this breaks out to the upside. That's what we'll have to watch. We break underneath 19. That's the 200 moving average on the 65. We break underneath here, and then price action is already probably moving to all-time highs or headed that direction in the market. This breaks out of this flag, and we have a continuation. You probably have the measured move here if you want to do that of the flagpole. Okay, so we'll leave this on here just in case from the pole and the breakout area. Some measured move. And we'll leave this on here for next video. And the measure move takes us to about the 28.29 area that we were talking about. That closes the gap. And then we could see a retreat for a higher low or whatever it needs to do at that point while the market goes up. We'll be looking for a low in the market and a high in VIX. All right. Thanks for joining me here at Options Center. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon.